It's that day of the week again when we bring you updates on crime-related stories that happened during the week. Welcome to your one-stop security program, Crime Watch. On our lineup this week, Offer robbery still generating reactions. Members of Islamic movement clash with police. Hello and welcome to Crime Watch. I'm Ivy Kano. Crime Watch begins now. We'll start off in Borno State, where the police command has paraded suspects arrested for various crimes.
Parading the suspect, Borno State Police Commissioner Damian Chukwu was quick to catalogue the breakthroughs his command has been able to achieve in recent times, starting with armed robbery gangs.
On the 31st of January 2018, at about 0700 hours, a group of hoodlums, numbering about 5, armed with deadly weapons, conspired and invaded a cattle ranch of one Musa Aldodawa of Tuga village in Dambuwa LGA. They dispossessed this man of 6 cows and 47 sheep, value yet to be ascertained. Based on the tip-off, 4 of the 5 suspects have been arrested. They are Abdullahi Barka, Sani Adamu, Awala Amadu, Adamu Baba Yakiwele, now late. And you will probably know the circumstances under which he died.
The suspects admitted committing the crimes. Musa Ibrahim was tracked and arrested in Kano following a tip-off. He was accused of causing grievous hurt to one Fatima Habu Usman, a 500-level student of nursing department, University of Maiduguri, by acid bathing her after the parents refused to let him marry her. CP Damian Chukwu narrates the encounter.
If I would not have this girl, no other person would. So this invitation to that hotel that day probably was meant to kill her or disfigure her. To the extent that maybe no other person will be attracted to her. Is that clear? The man made that vow and he's here. Is he not here?
Yes, sir.
You can ask him. So I advise those relations to stop making noise or will continue to blow. There is no need for all this war of words. It happened and it happened, and that is how it is. That relations of the girl were not happy with the relationship is not in doubt. That they have been moving out, they have been meeting clandestinely on their own, is not in doubt.
Musa says he has been in love with Fatima for 4 years, but her parents refused to let him marry her, thereby prompting him to commit the crime of acid bathing her and himself.
We have been lovers for 4 years. I tried in vain to convince her parents to let me marry her, so we bathed ourselves in acid to show our love and to strengthen it. That is where I got these injuries.
These are members of car theft syndicate. Musa Bulama colluded with one Abdul Sahid to run away with an ash-colored Toyota car belonging to Mrs. Kulusa Gambo, a nursing staff of University of Maiduguri. They took it to Zaria in Kaduna State, where they sold the vehicle through Sonny Abubakar at a cost of 500,000 naira. The original value of the car is 1.8 million naira. They spoke to TVC News on what prompted them to commit the act.
I was broke, so I sold the car to this man. They brought the car to me, and I didn't know it was a stolen car. So when the police apprehended them, they pointed at me and said I made a way for the car to be sold. Meanwhile, I didn't buy the stolen car.
These are members of a syndicate of mobile phone snatchers operating within the Maiduguri metropolis and cattle rustlers arrested in Monguno local government area by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the command. On illegal possession of firearms, the Borno State Police Commissioner re-emphasized the need to return such automatic guns to the command.
We also have a total of over 200 den guns. These den guns, like I told you that day, they are not prohibited. They are not prohibited. But we found them under circumstances that we suspect they could be used to carry out violence, to commit crimes. And we feel that leaving them fallow like that is not in the interest of our business of protecting life and property.
Some members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria have clashed with the police while protesting against the incarceration of their leader. Sifonesian has more.
Barely 3 days after the police placed a ban on protest in Abuja, members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, sticking to their guns, decided to dare the law. Armed with stones, cudgels, and anything they could find, the protesters moved to the streets, threatening to make Abuja unsafe if their Sheikh El-Zakzaki was not released. They tried to force their way to the Unity Fountain from the adjoining Aguiyi-Ironsi streets. The outcome, a clash with the police, who fired water cannons to disperse the crowd.
So the police should come out and tell us, why do they attack us? This is our constitutional right. They threaten to attack us and we refuse to even go to the area where they will attack us. We decided to go to Human Rights Commission because we believe that is where all Nigerians are expected to lodge their complaint. And it is our right. We went there, they went and dispersed us and used tear gas. At the end of the day, they used bullets and shoot so many people.
Reports say 2 persons were killed, although we could not independently verify the claim. But it's certain several persons were injured, including soldiers.
I saw some of them coming with that today, if they didn't freeze Azaki, they are going to die. Police were coming throughout this place from this other side of the road with this armored tank flashing hot water on them. They were like going back and still stoning the armored tank that is flashing water on them. And some of them were even stoning some of these cars. As you can see, 3 cars were damaged here, but 1 was left here. And some of them were even stoning the policemen. Initially, 2 soldier men were under this tree. We were discussing, and these boys saw the soldier man and they were, as in they beat the soldier man to the extent that I don't think he can survive it.
I was at the entry point of NCC trying to do a business here, and we noticed an unfamiliar movement of some young people from this direction approaching the roundabout here by the traffic light. Some of them chanting that they want their leader, the cleric, Sheikh El-Zakzaki, released. If not, they will make this place very, ungovernable?
Properties, including vehicles, were damaged.
Now, after that clash, the police in Abuja have rounded up some persons suspected to be members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria who were believed to be hiding in the bushes by the road leading to the Unity Fountain in the Central Business District of Abuja. The police have mounted a sentry post, stopping and searching vehicles plying the route to forestall a breach of the peace, following Monday's clash with members of the movement who took to the streets demanding for the release of their leader. 22 police operatives were injured and 115 members of the movement were arrested by the police. Unconfirmed reports says at least 2 persons were killed. From there, we move on. Men and officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps have arrested 2 suspects for allegedly duping an HIV patient of the sum of 10 million naira. The suspect collected the money from the victim under the guise of curing him of the disease. TVC Ayodeji Muradeyo completes the story.
A total of 9 suspects were paraded by the officials of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, in Ondo State for different offenses. Out of these suspects, 2 allegedly duped an HIV victim of the sum of 10 million naira. The 2 suspects collected the money from the victim purportedly to cure him of the disease. Star reported the case to the NSCDC officials, who swung into action and arrested the duo. Although one of the suspects is still at large, the state commandant of the NSCDC, Pedro Ideba, narrated how the victim was duped.
We have 2 of the suspects, Olotan and Onosini. These two persons use fetish means. They use fetish means in obtaining money from the citizen, especially those residing within Akure. They will tell you they have things they put in their mouth. They will command you to go and get them money. They have duped people. There's a man who has brought a complaint here. 10 million has been due from the man for curing him of HIV. How can we all know that the process of curing HIV is difficult, but somebody can be able to. There's no cure for HIV. Somebody would deceive people in the public and use fetish means to command you to go and get 10 million naira for the curing of HIV. The person has already paid 4.2 million, and the balance of the money is going to be paid. And the 2 suspects, where are the 2 suspects? Those two people there are the people who are the brothers. The man that is paying the money to his account is the one there. That is Olaotan. Is the one that they are paying money to his account. We have verified, we have investigated. But the main sponsor, the main brother, the senior brother who is in charge of the other business, he is the owner of a certain company here in Ondo town. It's at large.
One of the suspected fraudsters also gave his own side of the story.
I'm here because of a man, Mr. Mutiu Aremu. The man came to us that he wants to cure his HIV. We want to suppress his HIV so that we should find roots and herb for him to be suppressed. We have been treating him since. And later, I travel. Later, and we hear that the man came, that we dupe him. And we give him medicine to suppress his HIV.
Apart from these, a suspected vendor of electricity cable was paraded. So suspects who forged government receipts were also arrested.
People who have been arrested opposite government house in the night, vandalizing and cutting away the high tension cable. The 3 suspects are involved in duping government. They have committed forgery of release permits. These are people who are working with government forestry. Another one is a group of persons who are also defrauding government, operating a sawmill without valid document. The document I mean is that there are certain laws that allow you to do one business or the other. These people are operating business without due regard to government.
The NSCDC boss promised that those arrested were charged to court.
Worried by the recent bank robbery in Kwara State, the Ondo State Police Command has held talks with representatives of different banks in the state. About 30 persons were killed by daredevil armed robbers in Offa after 5 banks were raided. Speaking with journalists after the meeting, Ondo State Commissioner of Police Benga Adeyoju said the meeting was organized to re-strategize the position of security in the various banks across the state. The police boss urged banks in the state to work hand in hand with security agencies to prevent bank robbery from happening.
You are aware of what happened recently at Offa a couple of weeks ago, where callousness and animalistic behavior was demonstrated by a group of robbers who killed innocent citizens and robbed 5 banks simultaneously. In order to prevent a reoccurrence of such an incident here, I decided to call this stakeholders meeting. Though we have been doing it before, but you know security is a continuous program, is a continuous exercise. I called them together for us to re-strategize and improve on existing structures that we have on the ground. We talked about positioning of security men at the banks. We talked about so many things that I cannot reveal publicly.
Still in reaction to that bank robbery in Offa, Kwara State, Kano State Police Command is drawing up strategies to ensure that residents do business under secured environment. Kano State Police Commissioner Rabiu Yusuf disclosed this to newsmen shortly after meeting with bank managers in the state. He says the move is to douse any threat that the Kwara mayhem may cause. The Kano State Police boss urged all and sundry to support the police for adequate protection of lives and property to be achieved in the state.
Invite the bank managers or the banks forum for a roundtable discussion in order to brainstorm, rub minds together to see how we can enhance the security of Kano State and most especially the security of the banking industry in view of what really happened in Offa, Kwara State. So the intention, actually, the purpose, the crux of the matter is actually to take proactive measures to ensure that we don't experience such an ugly situation here in Kano.
And still staying with that robbery, 12 more suspects have been arrested in connection with that robbery, bringing to a total 20 suspects arrested so far. 3 of the suspects had earlier been convicted for armed robbery. Police spokesperson Jimoh Moshood disclosed this at a press conference at the force headquarters in Abuja. He said among the new suspects is the sponsor of the operation. The bank robbery led to the death of more than 30 persons.
We have arrested additional 12 suspects in this regard. These 12 suspects include one of the sponsors of the robbery attack. So 12 additional suspects were arrested in connection with the Offa bank robbery attack, as I'm relaying to you. And we recovered 2 Beretta pistol, English Beretta pistol, with 20 rounds of live ammunition from these 12 additional suspects. Equally recovered were 4 handsets belonging to some of the victims, some of whom were killed in the attack, and equally their SIM card. Consequent on the Inspector General of Police deployment of high-power investigation team, which include also the armor personnel carrier and 10 crew members, inclusive were 3 additional police mobile unit force. Each unit contains 63 personnel. Further investigation was stepped up, and it led to the arrest of these 12 suspects that I've earlier mentioned. 1, Adegoke Shogo is a 29 years old. He was arrested in Offa. The second is Kayode Opadokun, who is 35 years old, equally arrested in Offa. We have Kasim Abdrasid, 36 years old, was also arrested in Offa. Abdulaziz Abdullahi is 27 years old and also arrested in a location in Offa. Then we have Alexander Ruben, who we trailed and arrested in a location in Lagos State on the 11th of April 2018. He is a vicious gang member of this group that attacked those banks in Offa and equally attacked the police station. We also have Jimoh Isa. He was equally trailed to Lagos State and was nabbed on the 11th of April 2018. Equally a very strong, active member of the gang that attacked those banks and equally attacked police station and killed 9 policemen and 8 other people in Offa on the date. We have Aziz Salaudin, who is 20 years old. He was arrested in Offa, and a victim phone and SIM card was recovered from him. We have Adewale Popola, 22 years old. He was equally arrested in Offa, and one of the victim phone and SIM card was recovered from him. Among those arrested and we are investigating currently is Adetoyeshe Muftau, who is 23 years old. He was trailed and arrested in Ibadan, Oyo State. Then we have Aminu Ibrahim, 18 years old. He was trailed and arrested in Ilorin, Kwara State. So also Richard Buba Terry, who is 23 years old, was also trailed and arrested in Ilorin, Kwara State in connection to the bank robbery in Nofa. Then lastly, Peter Jaba Kumfa was is 25 years old and was equally arrested in Ilorin, Kwara State in connection with the crime they committed in the robbery attacks on the banks in Nofa. These three last suspects, in whose possession another Beretta pistol and 14 rounds of live ammunition were recovered, undergoing interrogation and deep investigation along with the other suspects.
The Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Watch has paraded a man who raped an 8-year-old girl in a church.
Tony Joshua, this suspect here, was arrested behind the IBA SCDA Secretariat inside a church auditorium where he sexually assaulted a minor. The name of the church I will not mention publicly. He lured the girl from the street into the church auditorium and violently raped her. And that was how he... So far the girl has told us that he had raped her like that 4 times, but he's admitting only 1 time.
So I did inside church, I did sleep. As I sleep, from inside the dream, I see myself sleeping with one woman inside the dream. So on the way wake up, as I wake up, I say something will enter me. So that was I know we say this thing, a new church, but from the church, you can pass inside our church. So from there, as the girl go, I wake up like this. I don't know the spirit will enter me. Just call the girl, I know they call him before. I never call him once. As I just call the girl, that day call. Truth, I don't feel like I still be there.
For altar?
No, before altar, not before altar. That church, we never get altar. We just pack, go. The one house where did the church, now we just do this thing. We never get altar. The one where we will build. That's
okay, you're a member of that church?
Yes. Now me they take off the environment of that place because now me they clear the place. Push it there. So from there now. So from inside, as I meet with that girl, now I want to tell me, say, Tony, this is what they do, this and that. Now, as I stand up, I pursue that girl. But madam, from that day, since that day, me I not see that girl. Only yesterday or Saturday. I be yesterday where the girl come. I dey clear church. From there, the girl come. If they pass, if they see me where they walk. I say, where they go? He say, won't go buy pure water. But since that day where that thing happen, madam, I don't feel like for you. I don't get myself. I just take God, me God forgive me. As I see that girl yesterday, I don't buy that bread where your mama say maybe na she buy her for me. That woman I never give her money. Now me buy the bread with butter, 150, so that I make her chop throughout that yesterday. So the bread come there, because that girl I run inside the shop, they chop that my bread. As he say he won't go. Now she tell me say, madam, mama say me go check bread block with day. Me can't tell her. As I run inside the church, now inside the house now day, till that girl, as he come, he move go. For God and mine. As the girl run go. As he go, I come outside, clear with and clear again. So this morning, as I do walk, because nobody this clothes I wear. As I come, say make I clear the environment again. I put my clothes and the woman come, say start to return. I say, madam, I beg, this is our shop. I beg, I go explain to you. Make I go your shop, the go shop I come. On the way going to the woman shop, come explain as he beat around. Now you some boys, the woman carry boys, follow me. They come they beat me from there. Now your people then come
how many people? How many children you don't rape for that church?
For where it never happened to my life once. It never happened to me. That's why they pray. It never happened to me once.
And still staying in Lagos, the Lagos Police Command in a press briefing gave an update on the Danish man who was alleged to have murdered his wife and baby.
Autopsy reports stated clearly that Mrs. Zainab Nelson suffered trauma as a result of impact on her head.
The police boss would rather start with that update on the murder case, given the interest it has generated.
The forensic experts who carried out investigations revealed that there were blood stains from the couple's bedroom to the kitchen. Even though it was clearly wiped from the floor, they were still able to detect it with the application of special chemical reagents. In addition, bloodstains were also discovered on the hand wash basins and on the hand towel of the suspect.
There were other interesting cases like that of 39-year-old Abdurrahman Mohammed, a primary school dropout.
Further investigation into the activities of Abdurrahman Mohammed reveals that he has been impersonating as a medical doctor for the past 4 years. He has been administering intravenous injections, conducting medical tests on his patients, taking urine and blood samples from his patients. According to him, he buys his drugs from Idumota market.
I have some baskets so that I will sell it before for the head. So later I collected small shop.
Uchenna Agwaonye is a teacher but was alleged to have made life miserable for her school's head teacher, a reverend sister, by threatening to kidnap her.
Investigation into the case revealed that Uchenna Agwaonye, a teacher at Handmaids International Catholic School, Aguda, Surulere, Lagos, was frustrated by what she termed the high-handedness of the school's head teacher, one Reverend Mary Okolo, 45 years of age. At the end of investigation, it was revealed that Uchenna Agwaonye's job was to monitor the Reverend sister and pass information gathered to her accomplice, Ngozi Nabude, of number 40 Martin Street, Ijesha.
But Uchenna insisted the Reverend sister wanted her out of the school because, according to her, she knew too much.
I sent a text to her, not even because I felt I want to threaten her or blackmail her, because I don't even want to gain anything from her, but just that she should give us peace where I'm working. I've worked there for 18 years. And what is my message? The security woman was sacked last year in the school. She told us that she was sacked because she caught her and the Reverend Father fornicating in the office, living with each other.
All the suspects will be charged at the end of investigation. And with that, we've come to the end of this week's edition of Crime Watch. Remember to send your comments coming to crimewatch@tvcnews.tv. Till next week, do have a crime-free week.